Who is going to define the world tomorrow? Are they tech engineers or business leaders? Only those who can capture the best of both worlds can truly make an impact in the world.
The future is about the convergence of technology and business. Think about the many game-changing innovations that we see today.
At Dual Degree Program, we are equipped with both engineering and business knowledge.
We have the chance to create our own innovations and go on exchange trips.
The 5-year dual degree program gives us an open mindset to comprehend new happenings.
We are ready to maneuver between silos and capture the best of both worlds.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our admission talk of the dual degree program in technology and management. My name is Yo-Yo. I'm the staff from this elite UG program. So before we start, I just want to ask around this room, do you hear of dual degree program before coming into this lecture theatre hall or stepping into our campus today? If you have heard of it before, can you raise your hands up? Okay, perfect. That means we are doing very good on our marketing and promotion. But today, we will have our faculty members, Professor Betty Lin, to give you an overview of our program, what is the uniqueness of it, and our special TMG courses, as well as not just we saying how good we are, but we also have our current student and a recent graduate to tell you their experience with our program from their first-hand perspective. So without further ado, let's welcome Professor Betty Lin, our Associate Director, to share with you guys.
Thank you, Yo-Yo. Yes, she's responsible for marketing and promotion. You'll find us on Instagram, and that's all her creative work. Thank you, Yo-Yo. So I'm very privileged to come here to share with you about the dual degree program. So this program, dual degree, where you earn 2 bachelor's degree. I think there's about maybe 2 or 3 programs on this planet that do this. One is UPenn in Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania. They are about 60 years old. UC Berkeley also has a dual degree, but you only get 1 bachelor of science. So we are the other one here in Asia where you earn 2 bachelor's degrees in 5 years. And so it is kind of unique. And it attracts students who have a vision. They know what they want to do when they finish. They know business and technology will give them an edge. And they're willing to work harder than other people to get ahead. And so we attract the smart students. 30% of our population are international. Students find us from all different corners of the earth. So when you join DDP, you have many options, 13 options here. 12 from the School of Engineering, 1 from the School of Biotechnology, from Science for Biotech, and Business. Global Business, GBUS is one of the options. And so for a lot of students, this is a very difficult decision. Do I want to study this or study that? You know what? To me, it really doesn't matter. Any engineering will have that systematic rigor of developing a very careful mindset. Business will develop a very creative common sense and soft skills, I believe. And the combination, together with DDP, our own curriculum, we will integrate these 2 very diverse disciplines to develop a person holistically. And so based on reason choices, things change. 10 years ago, civil engineering was most popular. Nowadays, computer science is very popular because back in the old days, civil engineering, you become a senior engineer, you're making over 100K a month. That was the secure way to go. Now, everywhere, it doesn't matter which industry, computer science, AI, machine learning, ChatGPT, all that's very important. Finance, economics, general business, and like I mentioned, it really doesn't matter. Once you have these 2 combinations, it will take you places. And as I mentioned earlier, 30% of our students come from somewhere else on this planet. They find us, And so without studying, sending your kids overseas and spending a lot of money on their tuition, you are getting an international education here at HKUST. And I'm sure from the other talks you find out that HKUST, our faculty are from the best research universities around the world. And so English is number one. In terms of, this is a survey done with year one students upon entry. Yellow line is DDP, our program orange, and then gray is the on average. So dual degree program, the students tend to tell us we do very well. In terms of engagement and satisfaction at the final year, the students who graduate, our students are in the program, we're very close. So this weekend, actually this evening, I have alumni coming to my house. We're going to have carbonara and wine together. So it's a small family. We believe we have a special culture and values. How do we do this? This is our magic sauce. I don't mind sharing with any university who want to copy us. You know why? Because even they know the formula, you can't do it. It is very tough, and we've been doing it for 20 years. So firstly, we take the best ingredients from around the world. If you are a cook, right, you want to choose the freshest and talents. And so we pick the best ingredients and then we slow cook them. We slow cook these students for 4 to 5 years and they come out amazing. As a matter of fact, the students who self-select for a program as tough as this, there's something special about them. At age 17 and 18, you already have a vision of what you want to do, that you need technology and management to get ahead, and you want to contribute, and you have the mindset and the capability to handle engineering or biotech and business. In 5 years, you know what? You're a special talent. But with all that talent, you need somebody to prepare you. And then so I have an executive from Kellogg. I'm doing a doctorate degree right now, and I have 25, 30 years of experience from the industry as a consultant, as a software developer, as a country manager. I put all that into the curriculum, the other faculty as well. They pour their heart out, crystallizing what they learn into courses and curriculum. So these students are learning from, benefiting from our experience. So these courses here are all created by our faculty. So for example, these here, we call them TMG 1010. These are soft skills enrichment programs. Throughout the 5 years with us, students will learn about, for example, mock interview. How do you ace an interview for a position with Goldman Sachs, for example, right? We invite our alumni to come back. The ones who just survived the interview process, got a job, they come back, they're the ones to teach the next generation how to do interview. We used to hire professionals, people to do it, and we found out our alums do it better than the professionals because they just survived that process. And 自己人嘛，咩 tips 都可以講. So they give students, the next generation, they pass on the goodies. High impact presentation. Now this one we hire professionals. Video crew record them. Because I come from the industries, we bring a lot of friends from, for example, we just had JP Morgan, head of private wealth, APAC. The CTO come to talk. So every semester is a different executive. Because at 17, 18, 19, you don't know. You only know the biggest brands. You only know JP Morgan and HSBC and Google, right? There's so many other options out there. So by bringing executives to talk with the students, you have a taste of the variety of career options. We also have this thing called case analysis and product innovation. Because we believe problem solving and design thinking and innovation is a foundational skill, this is a required course. Okay? Once they take it, then they can do the creative stuff, the 4,000 level. Consulting, corporate consulting, 4950, for a real client, like a McKinsey consultant. I teach you the McKinsey methods. Prototyping, using AI and machine learning to predict the price of stock, okay? Credit rating of bonds. And then we do something called Startup Innovation, IBPC, International Business Plan Competition. And I'll tell you more about them. So firstly, about the soft skill. Soft skill, we have all these different things, okay? We'll leave it to Yo-Yo to figure out what we should do with it, with that information. Somebody's being naughty and pulled the fire alarm. So we have a lot of programs, case interview, as I mentioned. When they come out of high school, just join DDP. You don't have any friends. You don't know anyone. So one of the first thing is we do a leadership camp. But the student call it survival camp because it's really tough. We throw them to Saigon. It's 3 days, 2 nights. And there they practice and doing different things. Another thing is they talk with the faculty. Because this program is small, there's only about 45 students or so per year, so you know everyone. And we have a DDP room as well. So the students hang out and they also talk to the faculty. So most of the students, I can recognize them by name. And you have faculty from business and school to talk with you. This is the case analysis thing that I talk about. It is really cool. We have quite a lot of fun. I know other schools teach case analysis, but in my version, every week they're doing a new case. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. In the second half, they're using design thinking, business model canvas to learn how to build a startup. Once they have the foundational skills, they're ready to consult for a client. Real client. I have clients come into the classroom. So, and this has been happening since 2008. I wasn't here yet. Back then I was a country manager, and my clients, I used to send them to this program. So in 2012 I joined. So for example, in 2019, Google brought their best clients, Estee Lauder, for example, and then the students used latest technology to come up with a solution with augmented reality. Right before Meitu or some of the Xiaohongshu in China, some of the stuff happened. Back in 2019, we were already selling cosmetics using advanced tech on app and on the app. So you can try out different cosmetics before you buy. Arab, some of you may recognize name. If not, this is the company that built the Sydney Opera House, HSBC. So it's one of the leading companies, right? And later, this girl right here, she will explain what she has done for them. So for that particular project, we were doing retrofitting. As you know, Hong Kong has a lot of old buildings, even if they're, grade A, grade B, or residential. Right? How do you retrofit for impact with the most best use of price and all that? And so I can tell you, we were all shocked. A business student came up with an idea that is so cool. They hired the student that summer, and then afterwards improved the theory works. And now they have registered the IB. The product is about to go live, okay? And then the student will do some sharing later, right? We never thought you could do that. That's possible. That's really amazing. And then, so currently, we're working with JP Morgan. ETF is a form of stock, just like mutual funds. How do you sell these complicated projects? This is the trend now. There's a race in the market, in the investment banking, corporate banking space. Can you believe it? JP Morgan did not go to McKinsey. They come to our students to help them design the solution. And so now they're working with the thought leaders at JP Morgan. We just went there yesterday on what do they need? What are their pain points? So the students will be designing something like this. And so this is a wonderful opportunity. Once the corporate sponsor meet the student, work with the student for 13 weeks in a semester, guess what? They know who suits their company. So after each project, usually they will just go, you, come work for us this summer and let's try you out. And so, for example, this project, here was Arab again. It was another project with Arab 2 years before the retrofit. It was a digital facade inspection project. 2 winning teams, they did so well. In the final presentation, the chairman of East Asia invited us back in to present again, and then on the spot, this team was hired. So they got an internship. And this is the trend now. The market needs students who can handle business and technology. And the students that got hired, they are not all civil engineers. As a matter of fact, maybe only one of them is civil engineering. Because nowadays, digital, right, AI, all that is very much part of this future. And so they wanted students who are smart business-wise and also technically they can learn fast. So they were also hired that summer right away. And during COVID, we had clients coming as far as Japan. Because during COVID, nobody can go out anyway. The client could be next door or in Japan. Doesn't matter. We're doing over Zoom. So we were doing agriculture, rice, pineapple, farming. And guess what? We watched how drones can be part of the future. Because young generation, who wants to go into farming? No. Your grandpa has 100 acres. It's your inheritance. Do you want it? Do you want to work in the field? Right? It's tough. But you know what? If you tell them you get to fly drones, 8 propellers, the drones can do the spraying, and you're inside the air conditioning room. Now that's cool. Right? Why do the cheap crops? Why don't you do the greenhouse crops? Tomato, if you go to Yatin, tomatoes, are they expensive? Yeah, $60 a little box, right? This is the future. Agriculture needs a lot of tech, needs a lot of business intelligence, auto sorting, auto catching the bugs, right? So this is part of the future. Every industry needs creative students. So Bayer was so happy with our solution. They also hired 5 students, become management trainee. They train them in Singapore for 6 months and then send them out throughout the region. So UBS, they've been a sponsor for 7 years. And back in 2017, we were already doing blockchain and machine learning, trade tracking, blah, 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 blah. Lots of stuff, okay? So we never thought young kids can do it, but they can if you have a method to train them. It's really amazing. And they want young students. They want fresh minds, fresh ideas as well. So it's really, really fun. So what I'm showing here is some of the students have taken our courses so many times. I can't teach anymore, so they come back as TAs and help co-teach. So it's really fantastic for me. I've been around for a long time, you can tell by the wrinkles on my face, right? So it is the new way of learning. The instructor is not the one with all the knowledge. It's about creating an environment where we, the sponsor and I and the students, we're learning together, we're researching together, creating together. So this is the new way of methods, and DDP is all about innovation because the world is just moving so fast. So credit rating, how does Fitch, Standard & Poor, all these, how do they rate a company, rate a bond, rate an institution? Our students understand rating. They know how to predict the rating movements. As a matter of fact, it can be done. You, young people at this age, can do it at the undergraduate level. You don't need a PhD to do it because the world has changed. The tools out there are so much more powerful. Okay, I'm sorry I'm a fast talker, but I really want to move on so you can have the star of today, have the students share. So this is another program that we created. It's about 10 years old now. It's called International Business Plan Competition. As faculty, we work very hard. We also like to have some fun. So we have friends, faculty from around the world, and we created an alliance. So these 4 schools from 4 different continents, Illinois and Chicago, Bayreuth in Germany, Sao Paulo, University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, and us here in Hong Kong, we have been an alliance for 10 years already, and we take turn hosting this class called IBPC, International Business Plan Competition. What do? When it's your turn to host, everybody fly there. Then you build a startup. It's not Germans versus Brazilians versus Americans. We mix them in the same team. Why? Because the real world is like that. You have to learn to appreciate people who are different and work with them. So you start at a young age, and our students appreciate how difficult to work across culture, how difficult it is to, earn trust and move in sync. And so this is what we've been doing. Our students get to do this multiple times. So go back, for example, 2014, in Singapore, we did Water for Life, desalination, where you saw the desalination plant in Singapore, where salt water can be turned into drinking water. And my latest update from our friends in Singapore is that they can now turn pee into water and drink it. So next summer, we'll be going there. I'm not going to be the first one to try it. But that's what we're doing. So thank you. We can travel again. So in January, we're going to go to Guangzhou. Everybody's going to come. We're going to do AI for Greater China. Then we do robotics in Singapore. And so we keep doing this. So with this kind of practice at a young age, year 3, year 4, you keep trying it, guess what? You're going to be very confident when you graduate. And so this is the kind of graduates we produce, right? 5 years of tough training. I'm not saying this is an easy program, but if you are willing to commit yourself and work hard, this is what? Look at this girl. She only graduated 12 years. She's a senior executive at an insurance bank. Her company sends her to Davos, World Economic Forum. She sits in the same, she gets to network with people like Mark Zuckerberg, okay, from Meta, right? That's the group, she's in there. These 2 guys, they own the #1 chatbot in Hong Kong. So if you go to IKEA or go to UST, there's a chatbot, that's his stuff. I sat on their board, by the way. Camry, she's a lawyer. She studied industrial engineering. Earlier I said, don't worry about what major. As long as you do something you like to do. She picked industrial engineering. Guess what? Today she's a lawyer. Because she has a tech background and a business background, she helps company go IPO. She can write prospectus or leads a team to write these 300-page prospectus, and her communication skills excellent. Caitlin joined McKinsey afterwards, got an MBA from UPenn, and Wharton, she's now in London doing private equity. So you can take your career anywhere. I think with the foundation, education in business and engineering, you can keep changing as the world evolves. I'm an example. I was a nerd in Silicon Valley. I'm a great C++ programmer once upon a time. Then came to Hong Kong. I did consulting. Oh, that was really fun. And then there was .com in 2000, so I built a startup with friends, large-size startup, 300 people. Then it crashed, and I realized I need an MBA, so I got a Kellogg MBA. And now I'm doing a doctorate degree. And then I ran high-tech companies for 10 years as a country manager, and I've been teaching for 12 years. Our students know they can do anything. I can do it. I'm a grandma today. I continue to learn, and I expect that's their future. This is the future, that your education doesn't stop with your undergraduate degree. You need to continually evolve. Your future is very exciting, lots of exciting stuff like ChatGPT, but it also means the competition stuff. But with this kind of training, market recognizes these talents. Our salary is way higher than this. I don't want to show the real, but it's up there. Of course, money is not everything. The key is these students get to pick. They can go where they want to go for different phases of their life to fit their lifestyle, okay? And I bet, in our days, you stay with a company for 25 years. That doesn't happen anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, so every year we get a few into the Goldmans, the McKinseys, the hedge funds, the consulting, the Oliver Wymans, the Deloittes, the IBMs. Our students are all over the place. And because I believe in the power of networking, our alums stay very close with us. And so these are kind of the places where you can find Dai Si Heng Si Jie to help them out. So if you are a JUPAS student, I would recommend you, this is one of the key strategies. A lot of students do it wrong. So if you remember anything I say, remember this one thing. When you apply, put the hardest one, the one that's hardest to get in, as your first choice. Put one that's pretty safe as your, somewhere in maybe band 8 on the bottom. But the A1, that should be the one you want and kind of hard to get. Because if you don't get that one, you'll fall into the next one and the next one. But if you put the safe one as the first choice, that's the choice you get, and then JUPAS won't even send your transcript to the other programs. Okay? So this is the calculation method. In the past, our lowest is maybe around here. But you know what? It's different every year. It all depends on the application pool. Okay? So just give it a try. If you meet a cutoff, you'll be invited for an interview. Interview is very important. It's 30% of your admission chance. Because once you're invited, you have the academic capability. So firstly, we don't want to kill any student, okay? You have to be able to handle this workload. And number 2, you have to have the personality, the drive, the innovation, and the courage to fail. DDP is not an easy program, but if you are courageous, right? Is there anybody who cannot ride a bike? Yes, anyone who's afraid to try cannot ride a bike. But if you are willing to fall, you can ride a bike. And that's DDP. We are looking for students who are not afraid to fail, okay? A-level, GCE, or IB, it all depends. Every year is different, okay? But yeah, you can talk to us separately. We cannot publish it. All right? So there are 2 chances to come in. Come in directly from school-based into DDP, or if you didn't make it, you kind of like goof up, botched your exams, never mind, it's okay. You can come in, select one of the single degree programs, come into UST, and then at the end of year 1, take your year 1 course grade to apply again. So you have 2 chances to come in. I have students who asked me, in their high school, they only study business track because they thought they wanted business. Same as that girl over there. She didn't realize, and then she wants to do DDP once she found out about this program. So she had to catch up. So just make sure in year 1 you take a science subject and your maths. Then take those grades, apply again, and come in apply in the spring of first year. Okay? That's it. I think let's move on. I hope I didn't overrun too much. Let's invite the students and hear the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Batty, for sharing. A dual degree program is like a co-creation journey between our faculties and also our students. So right now, let's invite our current student, Chloe. She is a year 4 student majoring in civil engineering plus management. So let's welcome Chloe.
So thank you for that. And I, as a current student, I would like to share my life as a DDP student here, what I've been doing and how I've been thinking about this program. A bit self-introduction first. I'm a year 4 student now. I study in civil engineering. I also have a business major in management. And recently, I've declared a minor in smart city because I think it is a trend for our future. So today I'll be sharing with you why I'm choosing DDP, and then I'll probably tell you what I've been experiencing day in and day out, and I'll be sharing my own personal experience with the TEMG series, so you don't just listen to the professor's perspective on the TEMG series, and also some tips for all of you if you're ready to join DDP and how to survive really, really well in any programs and especially in DDP. So, why do I actually choose DDP, but not just a single major? But before we talk about that, let me tell you how I entered in DDP. So I actually didn't make it with the program entry because I wasn't that good at DSE, and I didn't actually plan for going to DDP because it doesn't really appeal to me, and at first I think engineering is not what I'm good at, and I'm not good at innovation, and I don't want anything related to engineering. Then I entered School of Business and Management because I think it would earn me a lot of money, just because of that. But throughout my first year, I took some university common core, and I found out that, okay, civil engineering is really creative. Okay, it's fun because I get to go to the lab. There's a building that is on a shaker and it shakes and I see it fail. So wow, the building will fail. Okay, then I probably should go somewhere in engineering. And I got a brother also in DDP too. He was in civil engineering too. He kind of persuaded me, saying that DDP is good. DDP is better than just normal engineering single major. I said, okay, then maybe I'm going to try first. And I really got in after the major selection exercise, MSE. And then I become a year 2 student with a BBA that I have not declared. And after one more year of studying, I decided that, okay, I would like management because civil engineering have a lot of projects. I want to have skills related to management so that I can not only be a professional civil engineer, chartered civil engineer, but I can also manage a team and also manage different teams of people under the same project. And that's why I chose management. But then why not a single major? It is a problem that I actually thought of it afterwards because I didn't know exactly why DDP is the best thing I should do and which is the best decision I've made in university. It's first about the integration of knowledge. So teaching, you can always study one single major or one single bachelor in engineering and then you say, it's not enough, I go for an MBA. But then DDP is kind of special because they teach you how to integrate the knowledge from different fields. So I would say I have a good background, fundamentals in engineering, and also have business mindset, which can help me how to think creatively and also analytically. But then the TEMG series and also the opportunities in corporates can actually help me to see if I can integrate the knowledge. So I have the engineering sense, I have the business sense, but how can I put all of these together and make something really valuable for the real world? So this is what I've learned with DDP. And actually there are a lot of hands-on experience that I really treasure because we get to go to the corporates. I actually went twice for the TEMG 4950 series, and I find it really good. So I went back to 4950 again, and also I went to the International Business Plan competition, and I enrolled again this year coming because I think it's really valuable. And also it encourages independent and critical thinking because working with real-life problems and studying is a totally different thing. I can study very well. I know how to calculate these stuff. I calculate all the parameters correctly and really fast. But then the boss will come up with a question. What do you think is the problem? How do you want to solve it? But then it was just a random question that he was asking me. And if I was not trained with how to independently think and critically think, I probably can't answer his question that well. And people don't come up with questions that is simple. How do you calculate this number? Why do you think it's the correct answer? They'll ask you, why do you think this is the best thing? Are there any things that you can do better or to improve? But the problem is, if you don't have the critical thinking, you can't even find the problem. How are you going to find a solution when you don't have the problem in your mind, right? And finally got a lot of networking because, in universities, people only stay in the lectures, and people even skip lectures sometimes. So you don't actually have much friends or support if you are not that outgoing. But then TDP is actually a big community. I get to know people that are older than me. For example, Nicholas, who is like 2 years older than me. I've even got different alumni that will be able to network with us. And if I have if I need any help or I want to have more opportunities, I can just ask them because I'm a junior from DDP, and they will be more than willing to help me. Then, so what do I actually do every day, day in and day out? Lectures. Yeah, it's always lectures and studying, okay? UST, University of Stress and Tension. It's lectures and studying. 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay. That is not only about lectures and studying, okay? I will admit I need to study and I need to go to lectures, but then there are more than that. I actually joined an undergraduate research opportunity program this year because I don't know if I want to do research. So I joined research, and luckily, because of the independent and critical thinking, I got to innovate new stuff in the research, and now I'm writing a paper to publish for my new project here. And also, I actually have the time to join different student associations. So I joined the HKIE, the Hong Kong Institution of Engineers, so that I can have a professional touch to before my career start, and I can also have a bit more networking just in civil engineering field. I also joined a volunteering body which is called Wujichao, Bridge to China, which is providing voluntary work and also building bridges in villages in China. I also have sports time, okay? As you can see, this is me. I play volleyball, although I'm short. But I also have time to go for sports, to have time to go to give tutorial classes to students to earn a bit of income. And yeah, that is what I can afford to do. But then these things is not the fun things, right? I also have student halls. Unfortunately, I don't have a student hall. And this year, which is kind of hard for me because Clearwater Bay, everyone has trouble coming to Clearwater Bay to go to classes. And you're not willing to go to classes if it's 9 a.m. and you need to take 1.5 hour transit ride. You also have different DDP events. This is the survival camp, which I actually get to know a bunch of people from my cohort. And also this is the annual dinner from DDP, which different years, students from different years come together, and we can see there's a girl gang, so there's a lot of girls here. If you're a girl, don't think it's only engineering and there's no girls. And also, the School Academy of Interdisciplinary Studies also hosts events. For example, this is going to roller skating. You also have co-steering, I think it's war game, and also Ocean Park. There are a lot of things that we can do, and there are chances that we can make friends. So now we'll talk about the TMG series, which I think is the real gem here, and the real valuable experience that I think is the most useful courses in UST, really, because you can actually bring things that you can really use in real life. So this is a picture we took in Germany. So I went to the IBPC in Germany just this June, and I will be sharing more about that. But before that, we have fundamentals courses, the TMG 3950, which is about case analysis and product innovation and stuff. But then the important thing is, why I think it's important, because case analysis really teaches you things that you can use in your daily life. And also teach you how to critically think and analyze problems to formulate solutions. So it is a basic for TMG 4950, which is the consulting for firms, where you give solutions to complex problems that the firm can't solve now. And it helps case cracking, which is really, really useful for job interviews. So I actually have an offer from IBM, maybe 1 year to a year ago, and then I don't know what to prepare for a consulting interview. And I remember Professor Betty saying, okay, you have a cheat sheet here. You can just take your cheat sheet and then try to recite it and then see if you have any important things that you can use, the frameworks that we have taught in class. It's like, I don't believe that, okay? Because I think it's every professor says his or her class are the most useful. And then, but I don't believe that because I was tricked too many times. I put the cheat sheet under the camera because it was a Zoom meeting. And then when that interviewer asked me some questions, I said, oh, damn it, I don't know how to solve, what can I do? And then I flipped the cheat sheet and I saw the framework that I need at that time. And I structured my answer according to that framework. And then unexpectedly, the interviewer said, "Oh, it was really good. I didn't think a year 2 students can answer my question that well." And said, "Oh," and then they gave me an offer. And that was really, it was the first time I think that, okay, something was useful, that I learned something useful in university. So, for product design, don't tell my civil engineering professors, or they'll also be really angry. And in the second half of the class is product design. And that is actually the basics for the International Business Plan competition. And it was really useful for innovations, pitching, and entrepreneurship. And why would I say that? It's because in year 3, I got someone find me, which is some DTP alumni now. They find me to co-found a startup. At that time, I didn't know what I should do. But the only thing that I know was like about the product innovation frameworks that I've learned in class. So I tried to use it, and unexpectedly it went quite well. But then, unfortunately, due to my packed academic schedule, and we didn't continue the project because we didn't find much profit inside that ocean. But then that was a really good try for me to see if what I was thinking can actually be used in the real world. And I actually got a really valuable chance to go back to the class to become a TA for Professor Betty and Professor Chimeng. It was a kind of a unique chance how you can be a TA in UG and try to learn from another perspective. So I joined 24950 corporate consulting. One is for transport department, one is for Arab. Transport department was my first trial, and I learned a lot of stuff about consulting and how to ask questions that you should ask, and ask questions that is valuable to your problem. But so the next semester, I joined again for Arab, and it was the time that I got an internship there. I was really lucky because I came up with a digital solution. Well, okay, I'm in civil engineering, but I can also do digital because I have the awareness. I can just study, I can be the domain expert for that small field that I'm interested in. And luckily I won the 4950, and I got hired as an intern to try to see if my solution really works. So my solution was to retrofit or to remake the building to make it more energy efficient. But that was a really hard thing because there are a lot of complex parts that people or engineers can't just calculate everything inside. So it was an AI solution I proposed, and happily the company think it's a good idea. And when I made the real prototype out, they found that it was really working. And I wrote a paper for them, they published it, and they have been applying patent for the solution. And this is, I'll say thank you. This is a really, would be an encouraging experience for all of you. I think it's not a very common experience, but it is a unique experience for me. And this company actually is one of the biggest firms in civil engineering. And I enjoyed the company, and I enjoyed my experience there, and they actually invited me back to internship for the next year. And I worked in Arab again in this summer, and I learned a lot on civil engineering again. This actually is my springboard to my career development now, and I would say I have a head start comparing to other students in just civil engineering. And finally, it's the 4970 in Germany. It's an international business plan competition. You can see a lot of people from America and people from Germany. In the briefing, before going to the trip, Professor Betty said, the hardest part is about communication. I said, maybe that student is too stubborn and is too difficult. I can do it. I think I know how to talk to them. I think I know how to work with them. I'm really confident. But the first day, talking with the international student is really good because everyone is in their comfort zone. They are talking happily. They're being polite. But after work comes, problems comes. Everyone was so frustrated because German people, they like clubbing and they like drinking beer. They can drink, so we have a sailing event, and then they brought me to the coast, and then they brought 24 bottles of beer just to be on the ship. It's like, what the heck? Why are you drinking in the middle of the point water if everyone got drunk? I can't swim back to the coast, right? And I was really scared. And then the students in my group, the German students, they won't work after 6 p.m. But then usually we have tours, we have like mentoring sessions, and it's always after 6 p.m. that we have just finished. So how can we work? So we try to motivate them. We try to give them some sense of urgency, but then they don't. But then some of them, after a bit of communications, they start to adapt to our style because Hong Kong people, we're really hardworking. So European people, they are a bit more laid back, and American people, they are really, really optimistic. So they, even if the deadline is 12 o'clock and it is 11:50 and nothing is done, but then they say, it's okay, it's just deadline, right? Everyone will get really culture shock. So Hong Kong students work really hard, but then we got really valuable experiences in culture and how to manage these crises. A lot of crises came out. I will skip the crisis, but then everyone did have a really happy time, and it's my first time to go to Europe, so I'm quite happy. And I've actually enrolled again to IBPC to Singapore this coming summer, which so when I enroll, I can prove that, okay, it's a really valuable chance, because although that we have kind of tortured a lot, but then we actually learned quite a lot, and it was a super, super valuable and happy experience. And we actually learned how different cultures come together, will have different things, and how we can compromise and how we can negotiate with all of the peoples from different backgrounds. So that is all from what I've been doing in the past few years. Some tips for all of you that are in secondary schools now. So how to prepare for all of these ahead, all of the exciting stuff ahead? First of all, you really need to have good time management. You can hear that I have a lot of things on my plate, right? How can I stuff all of them in my timetable? Then you will need to you'll need to sacrifice a bit of entertainment time. You need to prioritize stuff. You need to know when to do things efficiently so that you won't waste time on something that's low value adding, but then they actually consumes you a lot of time. Second thing, embrace changes. From the moment I entered university, I've actually tried a lot of different new stuff. From coming from a business background to an engineering field, I've tried many stuff. And don't say no to changes, because you never know what you like. So I never tried researching. I don't know if I like research or not, so I just go to try research. It doesn't hurt because you're still young and you still have a lot of time to try and error. And finally, be proactive and just challenge the status quo. So everything now here, you can have methods to optimize and to improve. So the current situation is always not the best, most optimal, best situation. If you are just willing to try, you'll find something more suitable for you, and you maybe find some new opportunities that will bring you further on to your career. And just be proactive to ask questions, because if you don't know what will happen if you ask questions, perhaps someone will be there willing to help you out so that you'll be better off on a springboard. So don't be afraid to ask silly questions, because I've obviously asked a lot of silly questions. And also don't be afraid to ask for help if you really need it, because there are just people that are very willing and waiting to help all of you. So see you all. I hope I can see you maybe next year in DDP. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Chloe. So this is my first time hearing your boat story during the IBPC in Germany this summer. So perhaps like Nicholas, our recent graduate, he just graduated in summer 2023. He has another story to tell you about his startup journey. If you still have some fresh memory about like what Professor Batty mentions about, we do have some graduates do their own startup. So let me pass the time to Nicholas to share his startup.
Thanks, Yo-Yo, and thanks, Betty, to give me a chance to actually share with you guys about what do you actually experience before and after the program. I think Chloe did a very good job summarizing program, but what is actually your learning and how can you apply that in reality is a whole different story. So let's get started. Alright, welcome everyone, and I'm Nicholas Kwok, class of 2023, meaning that I just graduated this year. So I just want to do a quick survey first. Any one of you still don't want to join TNM DDP right now? Raise up your hands. Oh, Okay, we got some disagreement, but no worries. I will convince you one more time that actually the program here is the best program you can find in Hong Kong. All right, to make a decision, you need three things. You need a why, you need a how, and you need some proof. And it will prove to you that this program is the best. So a symbol to describe myself is a slash. A slash, that means that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a programmer, I'm a graphic designer, presenter, sales scientist, digital engineering. I got a lot of roles. I'm not saying that I'm excelling every one of them, being the top students to every one of them, but at least I'm 90% much more better to the general public on this field. Why this is important? So, same for the student in ODDP, I would say that they're a slash. They have business, they have engineering, they have a lot of different specialties knowledge. They don't have to do the best, but they are really mastering the skills to the very top. For engineering, we learn how to make things out and make it real. And for business, we prove to people that you really want it. Let's buy it right now. And also we will make the business survive. So if you play RPG games like me, I would say that DDP is like you are both the wizard and the warrior. You got two professions so that you kill everyone. All right. So every single one of us actually have unique combinations of skill sets that make us irreplaceable. So think about it. You are top 10% of a certain field times another top 10% of another field. It makes you 0.0001% of the top. So you actually can add more zeros inside when you are excelling in more field. Do you agree with me? Right? So, let me give you the whole story. Why, what you have to prepare before you get in and after you get out, after you get graduated. Just a sum up of my 5-year experience, right? So before you get in, you for sure need a lot of hard skills. Math, science, English, all these other things are essentials. But in a way, if you're like me, I don't have a good DSE score. I still can get in because in the university, I strive very hard to get high GPA in my year 1. So same of you, you can also do that. If you busted your DSE, you can still have a chance. And I'm pretty sure that that's still the best program you can choose for. So just for action point, just apply and then do that because you don't know what you don't know, okay? So the process is going to be a lot of work. For mission, you are exploring in the future what you're going to do in the very early stage of your life. Me today standing here, I have a very clear vision what I want to do in the future. But when I see peers in other subjects, they don't really have so. But a lot of DDP students, because we have got exposed to real things in the very early stage of our life, we know what we're doing. So it's a very important thing. Action, work, study, cry, and then submit it, and then get the reward. It's a whole journey. It's difficult, but I promise you, it's going to be satisfying and so much fun. A lot of babbling, let's get started to story time. This is me. During undergrad, I was a science student, so I first want to do scientific research as much as possible. I was like this. I was very introverted. I didn't want to talk. So it's a big transformation, me standing in front of you right here, talk comfortably to everyone. So I do a lot of interns at different scientific companies, doing a lot of research-based stuff. So this is one of the newspaper illustrating me. I was thinking, do I really want to work for a company for I don't know, next 20 years and then get retired and get all the pains and health issues and all the things? I don't really want to do that. So this is what TMV changed me. I go to DDP that time in second year because I need some changes in my life. And then what DDP exposed me is exposed me to real clients with real problem. That's why we create real dashboard to create real issues. And it's all real. The real part is the most important part because you are really going through that by doing things. I then proceed to make my first startup project. It's called Nutritis. It was a complete failure. But no one cares about your first project. In fact, investors nowadays, they really look at if you don't have track record of failure startup before, they don't even invest you on that, on the current one. So the thing is if you go back to 20 years before and you tell people you're doing an entrepreneur, you're making a startup, no one cares about what you're doing. 20年前你同阿媽講我做創業啊，阿媽就會同你講你係咪失業啊？But in the nowadays in the world, it's go differently. We have so much funding. We have a lot of support in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is transforming into an entrepreneur hub very soon. So in the day, I lose all my project is died, apparently, but I earn my network. I earn my network to investors, to people who really make things. And today, I have a start on hand. Also, this is basically some advertising of people, doing some advertisement of what they have built. And I actually teach in Cyberport to mainland Chinese student, Macau and Hong Kong student, how to really create startup ideologies, like the methodology, how can you push from zero to everything. So it's like product development. Work in Singapore also, so just expose my field to more investors. And really graduate, very honored to be inside the Germany trip with TMG guys to expose myself to international turmoil and conflicts. It's really important, I say. So this is my startup right now, Maker. What the Maker do is actually we have more than 20 successful prototypes right now in only 2 years. Our benchmark of revenues go over to $1 million very soon. And then we are making a lot of projects constantly. We see the pain points of nowadays in Hong Kong that we have a lot of people have ideas on hand, but ideas are cheap. Execution and implementation is everything. So we help professors, we help people who have startup ideologies to actually make prototypes, to actually make a system that can be commercialized. Do you want to now add Slash to your status? Are you convinced? If you don't, just think about it. I'm pretty sure that that's the thing that you want to do. So I'm now also working on Vitamin D24H and ConjuMed. So we basically transform the ideology of maker making things to a bigger point of view to making medical applications, equipments, and also softwares that can use case. So if I'm gonna say a last word to every one of you, I think you will pretty remember my name, Nicholas, and what I do as a maker today, because I know what I want to do. So in a way, I convinced you to actually join DDP, like TMDDP, because it's exposed you to a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find what you're going to do in the future. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Nicholas. His life, no matter at our dual degree program and also after graduation, exemplify that how our program empowers our students and graduates with unlimited opportunities. So I am aware of the time that I understand we overrun. Thank you so much for everyone patient. In case you have any questions, just feel free to come here and talk with any one of us. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the campus again in the future. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.